show. Author's Corner, she asked about the books they wrote. And she interviewed the authors on the books they wrote.
So pleased to welcome to the show Dr. Cloe Couturier. Her book, CRANIOSACRAL Qigong Volume 1, Pathways to Consciousness. Wait till you learn what she became a master of and how that can help you, and how it helped her son, who was diagnosed at 4 years old with an incurable illness that came with a terrible prognosis of a shortened life. So we welcome her to Author's Corner here on America Tonight with me, Kate Delaney. Dr. Couturier, thanks so much for coming on.
Well, thank you so much, Kate, for having me.
So let's talk about, first of all, your son, because that's where the story really begins for you.
Yes, and this on the front page is the hand of my hand and his hand. Eternal life. We did that in a fair, a cast, and then I decided to put it on the front page of my book because it is about him and how I got to developing CRANIOSACRAL Qigong. And the Western doctor were unable to help us. Still today, there is nothing that the Western medical community can do for muscular dystrophy. And that's what he was diagnosed with when he was 4 years old, and told me, that there is nothing they could do. And to just let him live a good life because he was not going to live very long. Most children with muscular dystrophy do not live past the teenage years, and that's what we call them the Jerry's kids. They were like muscular dystrophy, and because they never grew up to be adults. And deep inside of me, because of my background already at that point, having touched on understanding more about life that life had to offer, from my personal experience with meditation and just really, really my faith, I knew there was something more to what the doctors wanted to tell me. And so I did research, and then the doors opened for us. And this is how I got into both Qigong and craniosacral works. And I was very blessed because the doors were opening. That's what the magic is at. So what I want to really share in my book is how when you have trust and you have faith, and you don't take, such a most challenging events in someone's life that I dealt with as a single mother. When they told me that my son was not going to live a long life and there was nothing to be done, well, don't take that as an answer. Seek, and the door will open. Knock, search. Don't stop there. And that's what I did. I was really just trusting that part of my life and our lives, and that's how I taught my children. And lo and behold, the masters came into our lives, and it's like amazing how it happens, because when you have that drive, when you have that faith, and you have this desire to change the worst outcome possible, which we were dealt with during past when he was almost 32 years old. He was a man, and he had graduated magna cum laude from Florida Atlantic University, and he lived independently, and he had a great, healthy, happy life. And yes, his muscle were wasting and needed the help to, provide for his lack of strength, physical strength, but his mind was leading the way. And we transformed a very, very challenging, sad story into a story of universal significance, because when you follow the intelligence of the cultivation, which is gonging, the intelligence of cultivating the energy of craniosacral, which is the craniosacral system, which is your calling intelligence, and how you gain access to having the ability to drive your intelligence to be able to create incredible feast. But how about just starting with your own life? Because that was my life. That was a deck of cards that I was dealt with as a single mother, that my child would be. And I also have a daughter, very successful as well. When you deal with this, it doesn't mean that your life is a bad life. You can actually realize that with the most difficult challenge, you can actually transform a sad story into a very good one, and a story that can help many people.
Yes, and this is something that you are so much the forerunner of this, where you're combining this new modality because you've seen what's happened. I mean, how exciting is that? Tell us more about what you're seeing. I mean, incredible, his story and what you were able to do instead of just giving up and accepting, Western medicine.
Because I've been blessed through this whole process to be able to follow my innate intelligence, my innate drive, my soul purpose. And in this process, I was receiving training and guidance from masters, both from the craniosacral part by Upledger, Dr. John Upledger, the developer, the well-known osteopath who developed craniosacral therapy. And then I worked with him. He invited me to work with him side by side at his clinic, where I had direct, relationship with him, growing with him, helping him because, Dorian was his patient. So he had a very challenging group of patients, people coming from all over the world with all kinds of issues. And we were, pretty much helping those people with all this issue, not just Dorian. And so I was exposed to clinically to work on the very complex illnesses and challenges, health issues. And I learned so much in this process, but at the same time, I was studying Qigong and medical Qigong. I always followed science. I always followed the teachers of the master that have the scientific background. And that's why I got to develop craniosacral with Qigong, medical Qigong. So craniosacral Qigong is all based on science. And if you go to the QigongInstitute.org, there are over 17,000 documents of scientific papers to support Qigong. And Qigong is getting more and more valued and recognized, because for the most part, we were sort of working in the dark because people didn't know anything about what we were doing because it was word of mouth. But now, today, we have a different field. People are interested in what we're doing and what we are about. There is a demand for the natural health and natural healing, integrative health, more than alternative or complementary. Now it's integrative. It's part of the healthcare system, and even Harvard and Archer Hospital are interested in Qigong and been in Tai Chi, but Qigong is a lot older than Tai Chi. It's even older than acupuncture because it's thousands of years old and it's the original. So it's very interesting because now we have a whole renewal, and people like me, especially because I'm integrating Eastern with Western science, is even more in demand because we are bridging science. So we're doing more than, bring this information to the light. What I've been doing is combining the Eastern with Western intelligence in all of this information, which is just so exciting, Kate.
It is so exciting, and that's what's so great about your book, which if people get the book, they'll learn even more about this. But even beyond that, you've got a great website and an online course. Tell us about that.
Yes, after working all those hours, you talk about 35 years, working 1,000 hours per year. So that's way past the mastership of 3,000 or 4,000 hours that we describe a master. I'm way above that. And after, I got tired of repeating myself, and that's when I started teaching writing those online courses, and pretty much done with the foundation. And so I've been teaching my clients Qigong all along within the craniosacral process. And I talk about this in my book a lot because it was not just my clients, it was groups of all kind of venues. So I have been teaching Qigong simultaneously and I was doing this as a single mother. So you can imagine the amount of energy that it takes for me to do that. Well, when people see me, they don't see me working hard. Why? Because I practice Qigong, and I'm so much into Qigong that I practice, and I want to teach it. I want to teach you guys because you need to understand how you get a lot of energy. And yes, how you do it by Qigong practice. So I want to teach you, and I created those online video lessons so that you can, learn how to do it on your own and your own pace. And so
Nice.
I created the course.
Yeah. So tell everybody your website.
So it's CranioSacralQigong.com.
Easy. CranioSacral Qigong. And this is what we've been talking about. This is your book 2, Volume 1, Pathways to Consciousness. So many lives can be changed, and you've seen it, and you've put in the work, and and it's powerful because you're so passionate about it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Best wishes to all. Good health.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.